$500 million to build the first new production facility in California in 60 years. At the exact same time, Coca-Cola is shutting down 4 California facilities and laying off 379 workers. How does that make sense? On June 30th, 2025, Coca-Cola closed its American Canyon plant in Napa County. Just like that, 135 employees were out of work. The 350,000 square foot facility that produced Powerade, Minute Maid, Vitamin Water, and Gold Peak Tea went dark. 1 month later, the Salinas warehouse shut down. 81 jobs eliminated. That facility had been operating for 70 years. Then came Modesto, 101 jobs gone. Then Montebello, 62 more positions eliminated. For facilities, 379 California workers, all in less than a year. And here's where it gets interesting. Coca-Cola spokesperson said they did not make this decision lightly. Right. They just happened to make it 4 times in a row in the same state, while spending $500 million on a brand new facility just 60 miles away. Something doesn't add up. So let me tell you what's really happening inside California's beverage industry. This isn't just about Coca-Cola. This is a full restructuring of how beverages are manufactured and distributed in the largest state in the country. The American Canyon plant opened in 1994. Coca-Cola acquired it in December 2002. For more than 2 decades, that facility supplied drinks to millions of Californians. Then in August 2021, Coca-Cola announced the closure as part of its asset-right strategy. Sounds harmless. Corporate. Let me translate it. Asset-right means Coca-Cola wants to own brands, not factories. They want to control the labels, the marketing, and the distribution, while someone else deals with the cost, labor, and risk of actually running a plant. Coca-Cola tells others what to make, slaps their name on it, and moves on. And this isn't just a California story. As part of this global restructuring, Coca-Cola eliminated 2,200 jobs worldwide. They discontinued more than 200 brands, including Odwalla and TB. Their operating margin now sits around 30%. Free cash flow reached $10 billion. This is a worldwide strategy, and California just happens to be absorbing the impact first and hardest. And here's where the numbers start to get wild. California's industrial electricity rate averages 21.6 cents per kilowatt hour. The national average is just 7.6 cents per kilowatt hour. That means California manufacturers pay 184% more for electricity than the rest of the country, nearly triple. Running a beverage plant requires enormous amounts of power. Refrigeration, bottling lines, packaging systems, distribution operations, all running 24/7. Now multiply those energy needs by 184%. That's not a rounding error. That's a business model problem. If you want to understand how California ended up here, hit subscribe, because this is only the beginning. But electricity is just one piece of the puzzle. California's minimum wage climbed to $16.90 per hour in January 2026. The federal minimum wage is still $7.25. That's a 133% premium just to hire a worker in California compared to many other states. Workers' compensation insurance? California runs about 178% higher than the national median, roughly $62 per employee per month versus $45 elsewhere. Corporate income tax sits at 84%, the 8th highest in the nation. And here's one most people don't realize. California taxes manufacturing equipment at over 10%. Meanwhile, 38 other states exempt those purchases entirely. So if a company wants to buy a new $10 million bottling line, California charges them an extra $1 million just for manufacturing something here. Chief Executive Magazine has ranked California dead last, 50 out of 50, for business climate. Not for one bad year, for more than a decade straight. Now here's what makes the Coca-Cola story so fascinating. While Coca-Cola is shutting down 4 facilities and eliminating 379 jobs, Reyes Coca-Cola Bottling announced a $500 million investment in Rancho Cucamonga. This will be the first new Coca-Cola production facility built in California in nearly 60 years. They're taking an existing 125,000 square foot distribution center, originally built in 1984, and transforming it into a 620,000 square foot, state-of-the-art campus. Full production capabilities, electric vehicle charging stations, a public tour gallery, drought-resistant landscaping, everything modern manufacturing is supposed to look like. And now let me tell you about the Salinas closure specifically, because this one hits differently. Coca-Cola had operated in Salinas for 70 years, dating all the way back to 1955. That's longer than most people watching this have been alive. The facility on Vandenberg Street near Salinas Airport employed 81 workers, many of whom had spent decades there. Stephen Dionisio worked at that plant for 18 years. When asked about the closure, Coca-Cola's roots in California run deep. The company built its Los Angeles syrup plant as one of the first 3 facilities ever constructed outside Atlanta, alongside Dallas and Chicago. In 1939, they opened the iconic Los Angeles bottling plant at 1334 South Central Avenue, a streamlined modern structure with portholes and catwalks that looks like an ocean liner crashed into downtown L.A. That building became Los Angeles Historic Cultural Monument number 138 in 1975. It's not just a factory, it's California history. During World War II, Coca-Cola President Robert W. Woodruff ordered that every U.S. serviceman could buy a Coke for 5 cents anywhere in the world. To make that possible, the company built bottling plants near military bases across California, including Camp Pendleton. Coca-Cola didn't just sell drinks here. They became part of California's identity. And now, that history is being consolidated into a spreadsheet. One mega facility, outsourced production, brands made by companies most consumers have never heard of. 130 years of legacy reduced to an efficiency calculation. Here's what comes next. CEO James Quincy transitions to executive chairman in March 2026. Enrique Braun takes over as CEO. That leadership shift sets the stage for a renewed automation push. Fewer workers, tighter margins, higher output. The company projects 5 to 6% organic revenue growth and 8 to 10% earnings per share growth. Wall Street applauds. The machines get upgraded. The workforce gets smaller. Reyes Coca-Cola, the beverage industry in California, is being squeezed from every direction at once. Energy costs, labor costs, taxes, regulations, shifting consumer habits, legal battles. There is no single pressure point anymore. It's everything, all at the same time. Some companies are adapting by building massive mega facilities, automating production, and consolidating operations. Others are deciding it's easier to leave entirely. And here's the key thing most people miss. This is not unique to beverages. Tesla moved its headquarters to Texas in 2021, but kept engineering and design in California. Oracle left for Texas. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise moved to Houston. Charles Schwab relocated to Dallas. The pattern is impossible to ignore. Big companies are not fully abandoning California. The market is too large. The consumers are too valuable. But they are restructuring, consolidating operations, shifting headquarters, automating production, and finding ways to operate with fewer California-based workers. The people caught in the middle are the workers. 379 jobs. That's the number. Not massive by California standards. Not splashy like a Silicon Valley tech layoff. But those are 379 people who woke up with careers and went to bed with severance packages. 379 families suddenly figuring out what comes next. Some workers were offered transfers. San Jose instead of Salinas. An hour-plus commute replacing a 15-minute drive. Others got nothing, just a thank you for your service and reassurance that the company did not make this decision lightly. Meanwhile, Coca-Cola's stock price holds steady. Dividends keep flowing. And somewhere in Rancho Cucamonga, construction crews are building the future of California beverages. A future with far more robots and far fewer workers. The real cost here isn't just the 379 jobs. It's the uncertainty, When a company that has been embedded in California for 130 years restructures like this, when it shuts down 4 facilities to build 1 mega plant, it forces a question nobody wants to ask out loud. Who's next? What's the biggest company closure you've seen in your community? Share your story in the comments. Hit subscribe if you want to keep following what's really happening to California's economy. Up next, Target's secret exit strategy. They blamed theft for store closures, but when CNBC checked the crime data, they found something that changes everything. Click that video now.